And my voice, I'm having flu. So I've been trying to just get treated and drink more water and rest. But I said, I have to bring this information to you guys, my beautiful followers. There's a time I talked about the three sons of Japhet in one of the videos that I posted, the origin of Africa and all of that. So I said the three sons of Noah, Japhet, and Shem. And I was trying to tell us how, you know, some people have been saying that, oh, Africa is the they are the one that sold the Americans, the Africans in West Africa, who claim to be Black Americans, that you are the ones, Africans are the ones that sold them out and all that. And I was saying that the Africa and Israel are actually from the same. We're brothers. And at some point, I even said, well, if that's true, that I'm sorry, I was apologizing on the behalf of, but I've come with the research with it that actually we are brother. And what I said is true, that we are brothers. Shem is actually comprised of Israel and Africa, while Am is the Egyptians. But and Japhet has to do. I was right about that. That's Japhet are the ones Khazars. That's where they came from. All those, Mongolia, all those, even Chinese, Asian. That's where they came from. They're the mix. But this is where I'm going. I want to give credit to this lady. Um, the last time I shared a video, you were asking me about the name, and I said it, and I'm going to say it again. Into all truth. That's a um handle on a TikTok account. So into all truth. I'm going to be pasting the name too, so that people can follow her. She's a teacher. She's doing justice, to some of these topics that are very controversial. But let me spare you the details. Let's go watch this video, and I'll be right back so that we can begin the conversation around what we have watched. Please watch till the end so that we can know for truth. I've always said, I'll be right back. Credits belong to the original creator, but I'll be right back.
I just found out the true name of Africa. A lot of people think it's called Akebulon, but let's break down the word Akebulon and its ethnic true origins biblically and historically. King Bulan was Khan. He was a Hun. He was a Canaanite mixed with Japheth. That's not Shem. Shem's land is Africa. King Bulan led the conversion of the Khazars to Judaism. The Khazars were really a mixture, a hybrid of people consisting of Edomites, Canaanites, Judahites, Babylonians, Huns, Khazars, Slavs, and such, usually called the Phoenicians. King Bolan was the Khazar king who traced his genealogy back to Japheth's grandson Togmara, the ancestor of all the Turkish tribes, also to the Hittites and the Horites, more precisely. So the Huns, or the Khan, are a mixture of Japheth and Canaan. Noah fathered three sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Shem is the father of the Israelites and the people of the continent of Africa. Japheth is the Europeans, and Ham is the Egyptians. Ham's son, Canaan, mixed with Japheth's son, the Mau people, and this is what became the Huns. According to Genesis 9:25, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be, and Japheth will dwell in the tents of Shem, Israel, and Canaan will be his servant. So the two of them mix together to become the Khan or the Huns. According to Zondervan's dictionary, Ham was the father of the dark races, the Egyptians, but not the Negroes. The Negroes are the African diaspora who are Israel. This term Ak is an alternate spelling of the Arabic word Ak, which means brother. It also means brother in Hebrew. Al at the beginning of Al-Kebulon also means the leader or the. In Akebulon, we also have the word Anunnaki inherent in it. Okay, and the Anunnaki are a group of deities of the ancient Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, Babylonians, and of course Phoenicians, all the same people mixed together. So who were the Anakim? When the Hebrews finished wandering 40 years in the desert, they had to spy out the promised land of Shem, which had been taken over by Canaan. And they found there fearsome giants who we will call Anakim. That's where the word Anak comes from. And this is how they describe the Canaanite Anakim. And there we saw the Nephilim, that is the fallen angel offspring, the sons of Anak, who come of the Nephilim. And we were in our sights as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sights. So Anak are Nephilim giants. And Anak was the father of Judith, wife of Esau, Edom, a Horite. Notice in Alkebulan, you have the word Baal. Baal is tied to Baal worship. He is the god, the lord of the flies, and he is also the name behind the word Lord, okay, which is not the name of the creator. Baal worship is human unaliving. It is also the fallen angels mixing with the seed of women, as in this picture here. And it is also new moon worship, and it is associated with Egypt and Osiris the bull, the Hamitic Egyptian god Osiris, who is the bull god. So we see he is the god of the underworld. He is called Usir or Osiris. Notice the word Seir, Mount Seir of the Horites, in the word Osiris. Osiris and Horus were the father of, quote, the sun. So Horus is associated again with the Horites. Also, he is the holy bull worshipped in Memphis. Memphis is Mitzrayim, is Egypt. So he is a holy Egyptian Canaanite god, not African. The K in Alkebulan is for calf, in Hebrew, calf, which means light, open palm, or bend. And this is how Canaan's name is spelt, is with the same letter K. And of course, K is part of the word Khazar. And we know Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So we have Al, the leader of the light of Baal and the seed of the Anunnaki. And we know Canaan stole the land of Shem and always calls it by his name. So Jubilees 10 and 29 says, Canaan saw the land of Lebanon to the river of Egypt, that it was very good. And he went not into the land of his inheritance, that is, to the sea. He dwelt in the land of Lebanon on the east side and west side of the border of the Jordan River, that is the border of the sea. So he dwelt in Shem's land. And so Japheth will dwell now in the tents of Shem, in Shem's land, and Canaan will be his servant. Hence the con. So Canaan stealing the land plus serving Japheth and mixing with Japheth equals Japheth and Canaan dwelling in the tents of Shem and the land of Shem. Hence they called it Alkebulan. So that's not the true name. This is the land of Shem's true name, and let's get into why.
My name is Maoli. I'm one of the senior princes of the Everlands in West Africa.
This is my family and my bloodline. This is my grandfather, Ganga, of the Ashanti tribe from Africa. Our family is Nanny of the Maroons from southeast Jamaica in Morant Bay, where our family has land, and my grandfather was a carpenter, and my great-grandfather. And many of the Maroons actually kept their Ivrit names because they were not slaves, or they had escaped as slaves and retained their identity, much like the Levites in the book of, I can't remember if it's Jasher or Jubilees, that states that the Levites just went and hid in the mountains. This family name on my grandfather's side are the Evans or the Ivri. So this is just one part of my Jamaican family on my grandfather's side, but I just want you to recognize the Ivri that is associated with the Ashanti and the name Evans.
You may not have heard the name ever before, so let me explain it to you now. When you go back in time about 150 years ago to a strip of land in West Africa that was once called the Slave Coast during the time of the transatlantic slave trade, you will notice this area stretched from the Volta River in Ghana through Togo, the Republic of Benin, formerly Dahomey, and to the city of Lagos in western Nigeria. So the geographical area these four countries now occupy was once one territory. People who occupied this stretch of land were then and are still called Ewe. This was the original name of the people who lived on this stretch of land from Ghana to Nigeria. But following the advent of colonial rule in 1884, the name morphed into Ewe. Therefore, the colonial masters substituted the letter W for the V sound in the name Ewe. This gave birth to the name Ewe, which is a totally different name. Ewe is the name of a female sheep. Our name is Ewe, not Ewe. The name Ewe is an ancient name that goes back thousands of years, and it is mentioned in the Bible. The first time this name is mentioned in scripture is in the Torah.
Part 2, to learn the true name of Africa and why it was called Africa. Go to intoalltruth.net or YouTube to learn more about the true lands of Africa. Like, subscribe, and share. And you can also pick up my calendar for Into All Truth and to learn the appointed times. Get ready for part 2.
I've always said the attempt or the plan of the Westerners, those guys that brought about the agenda of white supremacy, whiteness, white privilege, and all that. The agenda is to make all the blacks to eat themselves. That has always been the agenda. That's always been the rule. Even the name Akebulum, I stand to be corrected too. You know, I used to say that Akebulum is the name of Africa, but this woman has done the research and she said, you know, where Akebulum, where it comes from and all that. And I guess we've watched it. That the real name of Africa. I guess I'm going to have a part 2 of this story because I know Ethiopia is one of the. Ethiopia is not a name of a country. It used to be called. It refers to a black people, black set of people. Even in the scripture, it was mentioned. You know the Ethiopian eunuch that was said, a black guy. You know, so but now it has become a name of a country, which is not bad in itself. So, and that's one of the names that black people were called. But the name of Africa is what we're talking about here. But what I'm laying emphasis on is the fact that Africa and Israel, they are brothers, and that's why they are black. And that is why when they ran away from, when they persecuted, another location they came to is Africa. Because everybody in Africa is black. So they mix with them, everybody can know. But there was a region they said it the most in, where some say, oh, West Africa, but the truth is, we are related, we are all black, and that is why I talk about the DNA series that I talked about. I've done that series also, that video also, that the region of Africa, their DNA is different. And these are pointed to the fact that the black man is a special breed. We are chosen of God. And of course, this video has proven that, and we have seen it. Don't mind my voice. In case I'm sounding, just bear with me. But I just feel that this information I have to bring, before you guys, so that you guys can know. So the black man, I say people say black and brown, we are a special breed. We are God's chosen. And this documentation has further proven it. And I will let you know when the part 2 is up because we need to continue on this series. Like I said, credit to Into All Truth. That lady is amazing. And some of the research that I've done, she's always collaborating. And sometimes I get even enlightened more. But it's good to be teachable, right? So she's always bringing depth and insight into some of the things I've learned, I'm reading, I'm still knowing. It's always corroborating and bringing dimensions that are corroborating with what I have said. And of course, what am I trying to say? The black folks will need to be united. We need to be of one voice. You say you're black, African Caribbean, African American, Black American, African origin, descent. Wherever we are God's chosen people. Excuse me. We are God's chosen people, and this is the fact. And that we need to begin to work in this consciousness that we are not just anybody. The time will come that we come into the fullness of our glory, that we will reign and will dominate the earth. Yes, that's a prophecy. But whatever we're going through now is what was prophesied. A phase of persecution, a phase of a phase whereby we'll be grounded. It looks like the black person does not want to be seen or heard. But it's going to be over. But let this consciousness be in you that you are a special breed, you're a chosen breed. And that you need to know this truth about yourself. You need to know your origin. You need to know who you are so that you can walk in this reality and tell the story of who you are. A lot of record has been wiped and erased, but there's still a remnant of the record that we know about ourselves. African is known to be telling story about themselves. Some of the things that were artifacts that we have has been burnt, stolen, and taken away. But stories are being told from one generation to the other. And that is why we can say a fact. We can still gather one or two facts. Like you're also watching this video. Who we are is known by those guys. And few people also know who we are. And that is why we have the custodians of histories. And that is what I've done in this video. Know who you are and work in this reality. Thank you guys for watching. So like come your way again. Like I always say, stay in peace and avoid trouble. Bye bye.